For tonight's Grand Prix, and we had qualifying a little earlier this afternoon, but this evening we have the Grand Prix proper, and we are excited about that, that's for sure. We can take a look at the riders now, where we'll have them presented to us, and the first rider to come forward should be Victor Przemski, who was actually terrific in qualifying this afternoon by getting the fourth best time. In actual fact, he didn't take the fourth pick, of course, because he is a track reserve, but the teenager rode superbly well.
He did indeed, yeah. He's not 100% fit, still got that finger injury, but no, it was a fabulous display.
Yeah, Bartosz Kowalski coming forward, of course, a youngster for Sparta Wrocław, and I'm sure he'd be keen to get a ride tonight. Gleb Chuganov, what a performance earlier on today. Fantastic from him. Got to say, the young rider really did turn it on in start, and he'll be hoping to back that up with a big performance here this evening. Andrei Lebedev's coming in for the injured Anders Thompson for the remainder of the Grand Prix series, so the Latvian will be very keen to do well. Paweł Szapelski coming forward now, just tripping up on the steps. Hope he can just find his feet, but he's looking for a big night here in his homeland. Now coming forward is Max Frick, who was involved in a big accident last night, nasty accident last night in the league racing here in Poland. So Frick a little bit battered and bruised.
Jack Holder, fantastic form for Jack. He's got work to do. He's languishing down the order at the moment, down in 13th place. But,
Robert Lambert, yeah, absolutely, he is indeed. Robert Lambert coming forward now, had a disappointing Cardiff, looking to turn his form around here tonight in the Olympic Stadium. Mikael Mikkelsen coming forward now, of course, a two-time European champion. Once again, another rider in the thick of it, in the mid-pack, looking for a big performance here in Wrocław. Jason Dorr, the similar applies as well, Chris.
Yeah, there's a chasing pack right down to, I would suggest, 11th place down to Robert Lambert. Of course, Jack Holder will want to get himself involved in that. This man, Marcin Wasilek, coming back from his injuries. He's not 100% fit, but he's glad to be back.
Indeed it is. It's great to see Martin Wasilek, and now, of course, a fan favourite here in Wrocław. 10 years he's been riding for the club, and back from illness, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that Wolfenden can do the business. Another big fan favourite, of course, a homegrown Maciej Janowski coming forward. He's out of form, confidence is a touch low, but could he turn it around tonight?
Fredrik Lindgren, they're looking for a big performance. Of course, he's not 100% fit with his long COVID problems, but 5th place, he's not had a bad Grand Prix series, fairly consistent.
Now Dan Bewley, of course, another home rider here in the Olympic Stadium. Brilliant win for him 2 weeks ago in the Principality.
Patrick Dudek, all action, and having a great season. 3rd place in the championship at the moment, very consistent, made the final in the last 3 rounds.
So Leon Madsen coming forward from Denmark now, 2nd in the World Championship chase. He's hanging in there, he's 22 points behind, but I get the feeling that he's going to be really fired up for tonight's match. And now the championship leader, 2-time former world champion, 22 points out in front, Bartosz Marzlik, going along very nicely indeed. So there are the competitors for this evening's event. And we will now just pause now for the Polish national anthem.
Prosimy wszystkich o powstanie. Kto może, niech wstanie. Prosimy o ściągnięcie czapek, nakryć głowy. Wyciągnijmy te kartoniki. Wszyscy, te formatu A4. Napisem przed oczami, tak żeby napis był po naszej stronie. Wyciągnijmy przed siebie kartoniki. Bardzo Państwa o to prosimy. Cały stadion. Hymn polski wykona pani Magdalena Zawartko.
Jeszcze Polska nie zginęła, kiedy my żyjemy. Co nam obca przemoc wzięła, szablą odbierzemy. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski. Za Twoim przewodem złączym się z narodem. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski. Za Twoim przewodem złączym się z narodem. Przejdziem Wisłę, przejdziem Wartę, będziem Polakami. Dał nam przykład przykład Bonaparte, jak zwyciężać mamy. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski. Za twoim przewodem złączym się z narodem. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski. Za twoim przewodem złączym się z narodem.
Nie chcemy wojny, nie chcemy pięknego żużla i chcemy wolnej Ukrainy.
So riders will now make their way back to the pit area and prepare themselves for their first outings here this evening in the Olympic Stadium. Fantastic rendition of the national anthem, really stirring stuff there, really did stand, my hairs would stand on the back of my head, certainly. But I'm sure we're going to be in for a terrific night at Speedway. So, Chris, we witnessed the qualifying earlier on. There was a surprise man there, Gleb Chukhanov going great guns, but the track looks quite different now. We've got cloud cover, moisture in the track, a little bit more dirt. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are it's going to be a great racetrack. I think it's very well prepared. The track staff did a great job during the qualifying to keep the track consistent, give everybody a fair chance. And no, looking down on the track right now, very happy with what I see.
It's looking good, that's for sure. Let's have a look at the standings now after 6 rounds. And as I said previously, Smarslik out in front on 96 points, 22 points in front of Leon Metzen in second. Dudek's right there in third. Bewley rocketing up the positions into 4th place on 64. Lindgren in 5th on 62. Janowski on 60, who slipped down. Woofenden, of course, missing out in Cardiff on 54. But in truth, between 4th and 3rd, right down to the 11th place, Robert Lambert, you've got to believe there's plenty of opportunities to get into the top 6.
Yeah, you have for sure. And then you've got Jack Holder, of course, chasing and in form, so he could make some ground up. Unfortunately, we are without Anders Thompson, who unfortunately broke his leg in Glasgow at the GP Challenge, so we send him our best wishes for as speedy as possible recovery.
Absolutely right. Here, and a nasty leg break, so there's no question that he'll be on the road to recovery now. And a fabulous crowd in here and a terrific atmosphere. Not too much longer to wait now before heat number 1.
Bądź silny, wracaj do nas, Adrian. Wielkie brawa dla Państwa, dziękujemy bardzo.
So yeah, not too much longer to go for heat number 1. Riders just preparing themselves here. We've got a terrific event in front of us. All the riders, I think, universally love coming to this part of the world. This track is been altered for 2017 when the World Games were staged here, and Chris, they actually managed to make some alterations to the track as well that has really improved things.
It has, yeah. From my time racing here, and of course indeed yours as well, Kelvin, the straights were a little narrower, the entrances and exits of the corners were a little squarer, and it was easy to run out of room, but they've got that little bit more room now, and we will see that in the racing. There will be straight lines into corners, there will be dive bombing each other, and no, it's going to be a fabulous night's racing.
It is indeed. Martin Vasilek out here for his return to Speedway. Nasty injury he sustained a month ago with a broken shoulder blade. He's also got an issue on his hand, on his left hand as well. So he came through qualifying unscathed, but he needs to get off to a bright start here, if at all possible. Because he slipped down. He was in 3rd place going into the Principality, missed that Grand Prix and went right down to 8th. But as I reiterate, it's so tightly congested there. The point scores are so close together. A good performance here tonight for Martin, and he can get himself right back in contention for a medal. Max Frick there, who's in the first race as well, blue helmet colour, had a nasty crash. He says he's feeling a bit second-hand. But I'm sure the adrenaline is now coursing through his veins. Knows this place well, of course. Rode for Sparta Wrocław for several seasons. So he'll be looking for a big night. A winner already this year, of course. So the riders now approaching the tapes for the opening race of the Betard FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland, round number 7. and Mikkelsen will be on the inside gate. So the line-up for heat number 1 then. Mikkelsen on the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Max Frick. Gate number 3 is Jack Holder in white. And Martin Vaclik will go from the outside in yellow. Good-looking first race here, Chris.
Great-looking first race. Jack Holder will be looking to make amends for a dreadful qualifying. Had so much bad luck. He didn't post a quick time in his first session. Then he had a quick track for the second session where the other guys put in quick times. Unfortunately, lost a chain before he even managed to do a lap, and that scuppered any chances of having a decent draw pick for him.
So here we go then, heat number 1, start marshal just making sure riders are comfortable and in the right place on the start line. Looks up at the referee, green light comes on now. Here we go, we're away. Mikkelsen's made a great start on the inside. He gets to the first turn in front. Frick's alongside. Jack Holder forces his way through into second place. Down the back straight for the first time, but it's all about Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen away really sharp there. Utilised the inside start. Has got a real steal on the rest of the opposition here. Martin Vaclik just missing out actually away from the tapes, and Max Frick with that forceful move into second place on the opening lap.
Yeah, Mikkelsen super smooth off the start, just got the bike into the first turn, didn't move off the inside line, and it looks very quick and comfortably out front. Track is going to settle down. It's going to take, I would suggest, 5 or 6 races to start making the best racing lines, but yeah, Max Frick has got no answer for him in second place.
Yeah, Mikkelsen absolutely flying out in front. Danish rider's had his injury problems mid-season, but he looks absolutely textbook out in front here, clearing off out in front, bike working a tree, set up absolutely spot on for his opening ride. Out of the last turn to win heat number 1, Mikkelsen picks up a fine win, second place in Frick. And Jack Holder chasing him home, of course the Speedway of Nations duo there coming through in second and third, but Denmark doing so well yesterday in the SGP3, of course, finishing first and second, and they start with a win here this evening. They really are enjoying themselves in the Olympic Stadium here in Wroclaw.
Yeah, these last couple of days taking us right back to the 80s and 90s of Danish dominance.
Mikkelsen out in front, 3 points for him. Frick second, 2 points. Jack Holder in third, 1 point for him, and Martin Vaclik just missing out in the opening race of the night.
Super start here from Mikkelsen on the inside, jumps clear. He gets to the first turn, almost 2 meters clear there on the inside, just rides around the inside, rides neat, tidy, smooth, which you have to do on these big, wide open tracks. You've got to generate the speed, you've got to keep that momentum going. You can't afford to lock the bike up and stop your momentum. Max Frick there just holding his nerve as Jack Holder looks for a way around the outside. That path's not going to work in these opening heats. But a super ride there from Mikkelsen.
He was fast out in front. Very dominant performance from his opening ride this evening, and he'll be chuffed with that's for sure. The ideal way to start your Grand Prix, comfortably out in front, and Mikkelsen will be feeling very satisfied with that indeed. And, as I say, he's had a few Grand Prix where he's been far from his best, but he certainly was back to it there in heat number 1. Heat number 2 then. And riders arriving at the start gate, and we will see for the first time this evening the previous winner in Cardiff, of course, Dan Bewley will be out here on the inside gate. The wild card also, Gleb Chuganov, good performance earlier on in qualifying, and really did surprise us all with coming through with some dynamite times, but that man has had a lot of focus on him over the last couple of weeks. So Dan Bewley on the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Gleb Chuganov. Gate number 3 is Andrei Lebedev's coming in for the injured Anders Thompson in white, and Robert Lambert from Great Britain will go from the outside in yellow. 2 Brits here. I've got to say that Dan Bewley will be buoyed by the fact that Mikkelsen made a really good getaway from the inside gate. If he does something similar, I sense that Dan will be a hard man to peg back here in heat number 2. So here we go then. Second race of the night. Green lights on. Long pause this time, and we're underway. And it's just about Bewley as he gets to the first corner. Lebedev's there coming momentarily, but it's Robert Lambert that's come round the opposition into second place and putting pressure on Dan Bewley, sweeping round the outside in turns 3 and 4. Now chops back to the inside. Robert Lambert coming up the inside of Dan Bewley, forces his teammate out of the way. Now Bewley, can he respond? Brilliant opening lap there from Robert Lambert. Now we've got Chuganov coming through. Oh, he's collected Lebedev's at the same time and had gone down, and the red lights will come on. Robert Lambert will be a touch frustrated there. That was a sensational opening lap from him. was in the right place, but Lebedev's has gone down, and I just fancy there may have been a bit of contact between himself and Gleb Chuganov.
Yeah, I'm sure there was. Be interesting to see the replay. Robert Lambert's going to be frustrated with that. He had a sensational opening lap to generate the speed from the outside. Great cutback, short run into the corner. And looking at, once again, Lambert's got himself in front. Chuganov up the inside there of Lebedev's. Difficult to see from that angle if there was actually any contact. And if there wasn't, I would say that Lebedev's got to go. But should have a better view here. Charges in on the inside. Yeah, I mean, you can see the dirt deflectors rubbing. I've got a feeling that the referee...
Close call here.
Yeah, I've got a just feeling that the referee will feel that maybe he has to put Chuganov off, but there's not a lot of contact.
No, not too much, but we're seeing the blue exclusion light come on. So Gleb Chuganov has been excluded from his opening ride here. Disappointment there for the home rider, and the crowd are actually making their feelings known as well. Not happy with the referee Alexander Leotosinski from Ukraine, but there was a touch of contact going into turns 3, and Lebedev's went down. So as a consequence, Chuganov is out and would have a rerun with 3 riders only.
Unfortunate that for Chuganov. He had such a good qualifying, you know, rode very, very well, and he seems calm and composed, but very unfortunate way to start his evening.
Yeah, I feel for him. There was an opportunity there. He squared the corner off. He went down the inside of the back straight, and the door was open, but Lebedev then reacted and tried to squeeze him, and as a consequence, the contact
Tak jest, podszedłem do Gleba Chugunowa, który nie jest zbyt chętny na razie, żeby rozmawiać, natomiast...
Lebedev's just having a bit of a tweak to his ignition timing. Track, as you say, was a touch greasy, a touch little bit wet in the first few. I think the racing will develop after the first 4 or 5 races.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, the track's in superb condition, and interesting dynamics now because Dan Bewley knows what Lambert's just done. He's now got to have that in the back of his mind. If he makes the start again, how's he going to cover that, make sure that doesn't happen again?
See this brilliant overtake from Robert Lambert early on in the race. He really did work this out a treat.
Yeah, it was a great cutback, well timed, got his wheels in line early, got up the inside, pushes Dan Bewley quite hard there as they enter turns 1 and 2, and no, it was a great move, and we were talking about it earlier. You know, there must be a certain amount of frustration from Robert Lambert because Dan is new into the scene this year. Robert's a little bit more experienced, but Dan has really stolen the march and made such quick progress over this Grand Prix series, and it must be a little frustrating for Robert.
Yeah, just not going quite his way, but he's got a second chance, of course, but Dan Bewley might actually have learned a lot from what happened in that first couple of laps, that's for sure. He's a bright man. And riders are now back out on track for the restagings of heat number 2. 3 riders only, as I say, no rider coming out of gate number 3. Rafał Dobrocki there, the team manager of Poland, and he'll be keenly looking on. Of course, he had a 3rd place yesterday with his rider in the SGP3. So we're back up at tapes, and we'll go through the lineup for you once again. Young Dan Bewley, who is the talk of the town, there's no question about that. He'll be coming out of the inside gate in red. No rider in gate 2, excuse me, no rider in gate 2 with Gleb Chuganov excluded. Gate 3 is Andrei Lebedev's in white, and off the outside is Robert Lambert in yellow, and he'll be hoping that he can reproduce something very similar than he did in the initial stagings of heat number 2.
He's already shown his hand, so Dan is going to be ready for it this time. Be interesting to see how he plays this first lap this time around.
Well, he'll be hoping he can get across, if he can, and get his nose in front right from the get-go, but that inside gate has proven to be quite useful in the first couple of starts here this evening. So start marshal just making sure the riders are in the right place. Here we go then. Second time of asking. Green lights on and we're away. Got to say that Dan Bewley's made a superb start there, but once again Robert Lambert is keeping him company around that first corner. Down the back straight they go. Lambert coming on strong, neck and neck into turns 3 and 4 for the opening lap. Bewley running very wide. Here comes Lambert. Lambert's done. It's literally deja vu.
Exactly,
certainly, but look at Bewley around the outside. He's going to repay the compliment now. Neck and neck. Brilliant stuff there. Not too much to choose between the 2 Great Britain riders out in front. Bewley now beginning to power on. Really tight there. Lebedev's back in 3rd place. But Bewley read that beautifully going around turns 1 and 2. Still on for 1st and 2nd.
Absolutely. If this is an indication of how tonight's going to go, we're in for a retreat, and certainly Robert Lambert not giving up, but Dan Bewley had the answer, managed to hit back, but Robert Lambert is in fine form.
He is indeed, but Bewley's now beginning to stretch away out in front. One last turn, a red-hot restaging of heat number 2 with Bewley coming through to delight the home crowd. Robert Lambert gave it everything, momentarily hit the front, but Bewley had the answers there and came roaring round the outside to fire himself back to the front, with Andrei Lebedev's just outpaced in 3rd place. Super high-speed action in heat number 2.
Cracking race, absolutely superb. If this is how the rest of the evening's going to go, we are
in for a treat.
This.
We're in for a treat. Bewley out in front, 3 points for him. Robert Lambert back in 2nd place, 2 points. Andrei Lebedev's in 3rd, 1 point for him. And Chuganov was excluded, so fails to score. But that was a stunning opening ride from Dan Bewley. Had to work for it, mind.
He did, yeah, and it was interesting to see the first lap was a carbon copy of the first attempt to run this race, with Dan Bewley making a pretty good start on the inside. Looks like he's got it covered. Robert Lambert's generated loads of speed with a slightly wider corner, a little bit more grip for him, and exactly the same here. Realised he's not going to get the job done there, cuts back up the inside, exactly the same as the first attempt to run this race, and gets himself in front. But Dan Bewley realises at this point he has got a bit more traction. There was no gap there whatsoever for him, but he just kept the thing screwed on and got himself around Robert Lambert and managed to hang on.
Yeah, and the longer the race went on, he's cleared the fence down the back straight. Yeah, there wasn't too much room there, was there? But no. Bravery from the young British rider, clearly red hot at the moment, and looking good out in front, that's for sure. And he lies 4th in the World Championship, coming into round number 7 here in the Olympic Stadium. Heat number 3 then, and it will be the first time we see Ty Woofenden this evening. We keep our fingers crossed that all is well, and his illness and injury problems are behind him. So he goes away from the inside in the red helmet colour. Alongside him in blue in gate number 2 is Jason Doyle. Leon Madsen coming out of gate number 3 in white, and Patrick Dudek, who lies 3rd in the championship chase, will go from the outside in yellow. Big race this, actually. It was a race that I looked at before the meeting started. It's a strong lineup, but it's a night where Woofenden really has to come to the party. He hasn't been in the best form this season. Yeah,
Ty Woofenden and Jason Doyle indeed looking to chase that top 6 spot. And indeed, Leon Madsen is the closest rider to Smarzlik, 2nd place in the series standings at the moment. And he's got the consistency, but he just needs to up his game. He's got to be in finals. He's got to be winning them if he's got any chance of shortening that lead of Smarzlik.
80 points still available this season. Here we go then. Heat number 3. Oh, Jason Doyle was moving there on the start, but he's penalised himself. No, the red lights have come on there.
Yeah, he's got himself pretty much to the front.
We've seen this often from Jason Doyle, where he's a little nervous on the start line. He touched the tapes 2 weeks ago in the Principality Stadium in Wales, and it's something he's going to have to eradicate. That will be a warning for Jason Doyle now.
Never good to get a warning this early on in your first ride. You know, you carry that through the entire meeting, so you can't afford any more mistakes.
We'll see it again. It's quite clearly moved, doesn't it?
Jason Doyle there in blue. He just takes the stand. Lucky not to touch the tapes there, actually, but moving when they go up, that's not allowed as per the FIM rulebook, and the race has to be stopped.
So all 4 will come back to the tapes for the 2nd start for heat number 3. Just top the tanks up, make sure you've got plenty of fuel in. They don't run good on fresh air. I've had that experience myself. I'm sure you have as well, Chris.
I think it's probably happened to most of us.
Yeah, it has indeed. It's very frustrating indeed. But for Jason Doyle, he just needs to take a deep breath now and just recompose himself for the 2nd start for heat number 3. And here we come now. Riders now approaching the gate for this rerun. Dudek's gone great lately, actually, so it's 3rd place in the world. He's been really consistent lately with 3 finals, and a rider that started poorly this year but has really turned the style on after that win in Germany in Tetero. Here we go then, the lineup for heat number 3. Woofenden off the inside in red. Alongside him is Jason Doyle in gate 2 in blue. Leon Madsen will go from gate number 3 in white, and Patrick Dudek going from the outside in yellow. So 2nd time of asking. Heat number 3. Green light comes on, and we're underway. Good start from Woofenden. Woofenden, but Patrick Dudek's there with him, and Patrick Dudek has made a great fist of it round that first corner. Leon Madsen now coming through into second place. Madsen's got pace, he's on the outside. Woofenden trying to hustle it on the inside, but Leon Madsen right round the outside, really putting a lot of pressure onto Patrick Dudek. Should now manage, now he switches back to the inside, 3 abreast. Leon Madsen comes through there, what a move from the Danish rider. It's lying second in the World Championship at the moment, and that was a dynamite move from him. Dudek now chasing hard in second place, and Woofenden back in third with Doyle in fourth place. But what a brilliant move from Leon Madsen.
Oh, Madsen generated so much speed on that first couple of laps around the outside. He's now decided he's got himself in front. He's riding a little more defensively around the inside, but he's got the pace, and he's pulling away from Dudek in second. Ty Woofenden was involved in plenty of action on that second lap, but he's just tailed off a little bit.
Here we go then, round the last corner with Leon Madsen showing great speed out in front. He wins comfortably after that brilliant move where he just came through the pack and got himself to the front. Terrific opening ride from Leon Madsen. Ty Woofenden just in third place, just lacking a touch of speed in his opening ride there, with Patrick Dudek hanging on in second place, and Doyle also just lacking a little bit of speed back in fourth place. But Leon Madsen, that race really did come his way. Madsen out in front, 3 points for him. Patrick Dudek back in second place, 2 points. Woofenden third with 1 point. And Jason Doyle, who was on a warning, misses out in heat number 3, but that man didn't. He was red hot in heat number 3.
Now, Leon Madsen really kept his composure there. Doesn't make the best start off gate 3. Dudek, on the other hand, coming from the outside, sweeps across everybody. Madsen with a very quick decision to go to the outside line, just chops across Ty Woofenden, and just sticks to his guns around the outside, generating speed all of the time. You can see the right foot there out of the foot peg, just putting a little bit more weight on the seat, trying to find that traction. Wonderfully timed cutback. If Ty Woofenden had read that maybe just a little bit earlier, he could have cut that off. But he was coming through and nothing was going to stop him at that point. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Dynamite move there from Leon Madsen. Split second timing coming out of turn 2. Really did time it wonderfully well, and once he hit the front he had plenty of speed. So a very encouraging start for the Danish rider, who needs a big performance. 74 points, World Championship points coming into this evening. Heat number 4 then the lineup. Bartosz Smarzik, the championship leader, off the inside in red. Pavel Szapelski alongside him in blue in gate number 2. Freddie Lindgren coming out of gate number 3 in white, and off the outside the home favourite is Maciej Janowski in yellow.
Maciej Janowski really needs something here on his home track. He's a big crowd favourite here in Wrocław, and he needs to turn his season around right now.
He does indeed, but what a record Bartosz Smarzik has here. He's ridden here in 5 Grand Prix and he's won 3 of them, and I must say last year he won in the double header, he won both nights, so he has very fond memories of the Olympic Stadium, so he'll be looking to stretch that lead in the championship. But for Maciej Janowski on the outside here in the yellow helmet, it's an opportunity to turn his season around. Here we go then, heat number 4. Green lights on, long pause, and away we go. Smarzik missed it completely. Here we go into the first turn. He hugs that inside. How on earth has he done that? But here comes Janowski. Oh, tight down the back straight. Janowski certainly had to breathe in as they went past Smarzik. Wasn't a lot of racing room there. Smarzik now giving chase in second place. Brilliant stuff from Janowski. Really committed, had to be. But I'll tell you what, he's got a line. Here comes Smarzik. What a move from Smarzik. Very nearly collecting Janowski as they go through turns 3 and 4. Janowski having to keep eyes in the back of his head here.
Yeah,
Freddie Lindgren back
defensive.
in 3rd.
He's gone defensive. He knows Smarzik's coming. He's going to give him plenty of room on the outside of the track now. It'll be interesting to see if Smarzik can make that work. He's got room now to cut back up the inside. He's not done yet. He's having a go at Janowski.
Here we go then. Smarzik coming on strong in second place. Janowski there down the back track. Here comes Smarzik. One big last push. Oh, into the last corner. Nothing to choose between the 2 riders. The chance to the line. Here comes Smarzik. What a race. What a race in heat number 4. Wow. Fans on their feet. That is Speedway out of the top draw, people. Doesn't get better than that.
Not sure who finished 3rd. Couldn't take my eyes off that.
Freddie Lindgren.
Fantastic stuff.
What a performance from Smarzik. Janowski played his part.
but
Wow.
brave was Janowski on that first lap down the back straight.
Oh.
Whatsoever.
Superb stuff, bravery, speed, talent, skill, all on display in heat number 4. Here's the result then. Calm down, Kelvin. Marseille, Janowski out in front.
Oxygen here, please,
Unfortunately,
Kelvin.
the result didn't last very long there, but Smarslik did win it. And Janowski was back in second place, Freddie Lindgren third, and Szapelski was out the back. But I tell you what, if that's an indication of what we're going to have this evening, now we get the results. Smarslik wins the race with 3 points, Janowski back in second place 2, Freddie Lindgren third 1 point, and Pavel Szapelski failing to score. There you can see the points after the first 4 heats: 3 for Smarslik, 3 for Madsen, Mikkelsen 3, and Dan Bewley in 3 points as well. Superb action already. So, Chris, we can take a bit of a breather now, which is quite handy.
Well,
we've only had
breather, Kelvin.
We've only had only had 4 heats, but what a heat number 4 this was.
Oh, it was absolutely fabulous. This first lap, Janowski here in yellow on the outside was so brave. It's a fairly even break, but he just squeezes Lindgren there, gets a run on the outside. Smarslik goes as absolutely far as he can, and as you said during the race, Janowski's committed. He can't back out of this.
Under the handlebar.
He's actually got to dip his elbow down. He's touching the fence, the dirt on the fence there, as Bewley did earlier. And, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But Smarslik, he just wouldn't give in. He wouldn't give in. He learned from his mistakes, makes a cut back here. And he does so well not to run into Janowski as Janowski tries to close down the gap. And then there's the run into the finish line, but no, fabulous ride. There was contact there. Janowski, he could have sort of ridden across to the fence and just laid the bike down, and very possibly the referee could have put Smarslik out, but he was fair there, kept on his bike, kept the race going, and Smarslik down to the line. Brilliant ride.
Fabulous speedway racing there in heat number 4. As I say, it doesn't get any better than that. You give these boys the stage and they'll show you what it's all about. Fantastic finish to the race. Superb action and commitment from the front 2 out in front. Let's get down to Scott Nichols now. He's got Max Frick with him.
Yeah, Max Frick joins me. Max, first and foremost, just how are you feeling? You were involved in a nasty crash yesterday.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a little bit beat up, battered and bruised, but all in all, I'm quite lucky that I've come out of it okay.
It was a solid second place, and we were just watching some of the VT just before we come on. Looks like there's going to be some hard racing out there.
Yeah, the track's tricky. Everyone, I don't know about everyone else, but, it's really tricky to feel fast around here. So everyone's struggling, changing bikes all the time. So it's going to be an interesting meeting, and I think it's, it's only just started.
Well, we know it's always a battle, so I'll let you get back to your boys and get focused the rest of the night. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I don't think that Maciej Janowski and Bartosz Smarslik found it too tricky, but they were really putting on a fine display there, but nonetheless, plenty of racing to come, and with Smarslik starting in such fine style. He has a wonderful record here in the Olympic Stadium, Chris. He is very difficult to beat, and the intent there in his opening ride, he didn't really need to win it like that, but he is a born racer.
He's a born racer, and the race before he'd seen Leon Madsen, his nearest rival, go out and win in style, and he's with every race he doesn't want to see that championship lead diminish. He wants to see it stretch, and as you say, show his intent straight away in his first ride.
Yeah, smashing ride also from this man as well, Dan Bewley, in his opening ride, where he got the better of Robert Lambert. Had to work pretty hard for it, because Lambert certainly put him under pressure. Yes, the first 4 races with a couple of reruns have really rushed by, and we have been royally entertained already. So track grading coming to an end now, and heat number 5 is not too far away. It's back-to-back races, of course, for Maciej Janowski, so he'll be out here. So let's get some more reaction now. Scott Nichols is down in the pits for us now.
Yeah, Robert Lambert joins me down here. Robert, that was an epic battle with your fellow countryman down there.
Yeah, it was. Shame we had the rerun. I was in a position there again. I felt like I had bit more speed than him, that I'd go past him and he'd get a cut back. So I just showed my back wheel and wanted to come down a little bit. But yeah, that's something I learned from first race, and yeah, the bike was fast. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, your bike looked quick, and it's always a learning curve. Interestingly, Dan, we know he's quick as his home track. Do you take comfort from the fact that you're on the pace with him, or are you frustrated that you weren't able to knock him out of the park?
Oh, after going over the start-finish line, I was frustrated. Obviously, I wasn't in front of him, but that's good. That's a good thing. You know, we work out to a positive for the rest of the meeting, and yeah, you know, to be on a pace with a home rider is obviously good, and that means something's working with the bike.
You've got a little bit of a gap in your races now. Do you feel you're going to make many changes before that heat?
You know, I just had a look at the last block of last race there before grading, and yeah, just see how that was, and we'll watch how the track progresses and maybe do a little tweak before the first heat. But if not, we'll keep everything the same.
Well, we'll let you keep focused and make the tweaks needed, and good luck for us tonight.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, good to hear from Robert Lambert. It was a very encouraging ride from him, and going down just to Dan Bewley was no bad thing, but as he rightly says, he was right on the pace, and that's good news for him. Water going down on the track, so I'm not sure that we always need water when we've got cloud cover, but we'll make it greasy in heat number 5, that's for sure.
What a heat it is.
And it's a good-looking lineup, yes, absolutely right, with Janowski, Madsen, Bewley and Mikkelsen. There's some really hard hitters there who've started the Grand Prix in terrific style.
Yeah, 3 race winners in Mikkelsen, Bewley, Madsen and Janowski. Well, we're just missing out because he came up against the series leader in determined form.
Well, do you know what? I think that's one of the few times this season that I've seen Smarslik at his absolute best. I think he hasn't had to be always at his very best this season. But all of a sudden, there was something about him there that reminded me of last year when he was going head-to-head with Artem Lagusa. So, terrific to see. And I've got to say, the place absolutely exploded. It really was a fantastic demonstration of Grand Prix at the very highest level.
Yeah, and I think an opening ride for someone like Smarslik, as intense as that, really sets him up for the Grand Prix.
Yeah, absolutely. Leon Madsen there just having a chat with Hans Nielsen, the outgoing Danish coach, which is a surprise to us all, actually, because you just feel that Denmark are on the cusp of something pretty special in the future, but nonetheless, decisions have been made, and he will step down from his role after 5 years in charge. So, boys just getting on their equipment for the next race, and as you rightly say, Chris, this is a tasty-looking lineup with 3 race winners here. And Janowski, who can feel a touch aggrieved and slightly unfortunate to have been beaten in his first ride, because he put on a great display. There you can see a brand new tyre fitted for whoever's bike for the next races. We've still got the grading going on here with a little bit of scratching going on. We saw this in qualifying as well, actually, but that's now completed, and the tractor will exit into the back end of the stadium. Brilliant racing. I mean, when the boys are given this sort of stage, Chris, you can just see how good this sport is. You know, it was tough in the Principality at times, but those first 4 races, I mean, they were pretty spectacular.
Yeah, you said it. You give them a stage like this, you know, the track is smooth, it's big, it's wide open, plenty of space to make a lot of lines in places that maybe you don't see on 1 or 2 other tracks. We saw in SGP3 with the under-16s last night that they were dive-bombing up the inside, making straight lines into the corners, and tonight already we've seen it in the first 4 races. Fabulous stuff.
Fabulous stuff indeed. So riders up at tapes. The lineup we'll give you now. On the inside is Maciej Janowski. Gate number 2 in blue is Mikael Mikkelsen. Gate number 3 in white is Dan Bewley, and Leon Madsen going from the outside in yellow. Interesting to see how the track reacts to that track grade and the water that's gone down on it. Possibly a little greasy on the outside in this heat number 5. Cloud cover, it's much cooler than yesterday. It was red hot yesterday, actually. But today we've had cooler temperatures. It's only just about 21, 22 degrees. So ideal racing temperature for these guys.
Yeah, and ideal track conditions for them, and everybody taking their time here because this is a very even looking race. Leon Madsen on the outside in this one. He's got to take the chase to Smarslik, but he won't like what he'd just seen in Heat 4.
No, there's no doubt that Smarslik may well have reacted what he'd seen from Leon Madsen in the previous race. I think you were spot on there, but this is a good race to win. No doubt about it. This would give a huge boost to your confidence if you can pick up a win when you've got 3 race winners in a second place, and what a second place it was. any other day of the week, you would have won the race. But when you're up against the world's best in Bartosz Zmarzlik, then no easy task. But yeah, riders just taking their time here. Touch of nerves about this one. This is a big heat, number 5, that's for sure. Star Marshal just encouraging riders to come forward now, settling down. And we'll be shortly on with the action once again. Here we go then, heat number 5. Green lights on, and we're underway. Terrific start on the inside from Maciej Janowski. Bewley chopping back to the inside, having missed it from gate number 3. He's right there, Leon Madsen coming around the outside. Yes, he has. He's come through into 2nd place. Mickelson back in 3rd with Bewley out the back, but a terrific start from Maciej Janowski. Leon Madsen and Mickelson side by side. Look at Leon Madsen, he's got speed in 2nd place, but Janowski's got it all under control, just beginning to steal a march. It's so very, very tight for 2nd and 3rd, with Dan Bewley missing out at this stage, but Janowski's looking good in front.
Yeah, you have to feel that if Leon Madsen can just get ahead of Mickelson, he would have had a bit of a run on Janowski, I think, out front, but Mickelson's done a great job, determined job on the inside to hold him back, but he's coming again now, and the track will be drying out with every lap, and now I think Madsen's got his nose in front. He's looked pretty quick.
Here we go then, one last straight, Leon Madsen winding it on, one last blast round turns 3 and 4, awfully wide, as they come out of the corner, Maciej Janowski just hanging on. Leon Madsen looks ominous, very ominous indeed, you're right. Got held up in traffic there by Mickelson, making him work overtime to get into 2nd place. And Maciej Janowski looking so comfortable initially, but when the race came to its conclusion, it was nothing like that at all, with Janowski having to hang on by his fingertips. Good racing again.
Yes, I always felt that if Madsen got himself clear, he'd have a go at Janowski.
Janowski out in front, 3 points for him, 5 points out of 2 rides. Leon Madsen back in 2nd place, the same for him. Mickelson dropping 2 points there. And Dan Bewley, well, he had no answers there. That was a red-hot heat number 5.
Tough heat, great ride from Janowski, and he needed that. He's showing a lot of determination that we haven't seen in the last few rounds. Great start from the inside, just puts his front wheel over the curve there to protect that inside run. And I think the track needed to come to Madsen. He's found himself on the outside, obviously off gate 4, trying to get around Mickelson. And I think, you know, if he'd have had just half a lap more, if he could have got himself clear a little bit earlier, he definitely had the speed to attack Janowski, as we saw on the run to the finish line. But fortunately for Janowski, Madsen took too long getting past Mickelson. And once the track came to him, he was generating so much speed. Look at the speed he had on the run into the finish line.
It was fantastic. It was dynamite stuff and really eye-catching. But for that man, he was very pleased to pick up that win and move on to 5 points. So excellent start for Maciej Janowski. Strong stuff from him in his opening 2 rides in heats 4 and 5. So heat number 6, and riders appearing at tapes already. And Ty Woofenden out here, and he needs to respond with a 3rd place first time out. And needs to find a bit more speed. It just looked like he was lacking a wee bit in that first ride. So the line-up then for heat number 6, on the inside in red is Pavel Szapelski. Ty Woofenden alongside him in blue in gate number 2. Max Frick coming out of gate number 3 in white. And Andrei Lebedevs will go from the outside in yellow in heat number 6.
Yeah, interestingly, the draw pick from after qualifying, a lot of the riders were going for gate 3 to have twice in the outside gates, but so far, interestingly, tonight, gate 1 has definitely been the dominant gate.
Indeed it has, and I think a lot of riders, as you rightly say, have been influenced by the stats from last year where gate 3 was the dominant gate. So here we go then, heat number 6. Can Ty Woofenden get his nose in front here now? Probably needs to. Here we go then. Tapes are up and we're underway. Szapelski's made that inside gate work a treat for him. Woofenden running wide. Andrei Lebedev's on the outside. Here comes Max Frick up the inside as well. Woofenden's got speed here. Oh my goodness, Szapelski's getting swallowed up as they go through turns 3 and 4. Fabulous ride here from Woofenden round the outside. Just about gets his nose in front now. Had to work for it, but that was exactly what the doctor ordered for him. Down the back straight for the 2nd time. Woofenden now beginning to settle in front. Szapelski in 2nd place with Max Frick back in 3rd, but Woofenden needed this and he's responded in fine style.
He has, yeah. There's a big roar from the crowd here in Wrocław as he hit the front. He's an adopted son of the town, been here for many years. Max Frick putting pressure on Szapelski in that first lap, but Szapelski now settling down in 2nd place. And yeah, this is great for Ty Woofenden out front.
out on the edge of the dirt. The three-time former world champion looking like one here. Really superb stuff from him. They've made a few tweaks to the setup and it's worked a treat here in heat number 6. Wifferden moving on to 4 points after 2 outings. Excellent ride from him. Szpilski back in second place, but that's more like it from Wifferden. So sad to see him have to pull out of the home Grand Prix in Great Britain 2 weeks ago in the Principality, but clearly those troubles are behind him now. And his first heat win of the night, he'll be feeling a lot happier about things right now. Terrific ride from Wifferden out in front, 3 points for him. Szpilski back in second place, 2 points. Max Frick in third, 1 point for him, and Lebedevs misses out in heat number 6. Good ride from Woofy there.
Yeah, 3 points for Ty Wifferden, and he was made to work very hard. Szpilski in red there on the inside, pulls clear. Gate 1 working very well in these opening heats. Max Frick times his cut back beautifully up the inside. Looks like he might be able to get up the inside of Szpilski, and at the same time Ty Wifferden's got designs on coming around the dirt line, around the outside, and he can't quite make it pay off on that opening lap, but he just keeps working it, edge of the dirt for the entire 4 laps. Generates plenty of speed around the outside of Szpilski, and won the race reasonably comfortably. He'd be very happy with 3 points.
See, he's got his number 1 mechanic back in there. Jacko is with him here for this evening's event, and I'm sure he's chuffed to bits about that, and he'll be even more pleased with the way he picked up that ride there and that win. And you can see Jacko on the left-hand side. So heat number 7 is with us, and we will see the riders. On the inside is Jason Doyle in red. Alongside him is Bartosz Smarslik in blue. Gleb Chuganov, who got excluded in his first ride, will come out of gate number 3 in white. And Jack Holder, the Speedway of Nations winner, will go from the outside in yellow. And I've got to say, any race with Smarslik in, after the evidence of what we saw in his first ride, I think maybe you're going to have to be thinking maybe second place is good enough. But,
there's no way to think, you know.
But Jason Doyle is a big ride for him here, Chris, because he failed to score in his first outing, was tailed off in 4th place, didn't have the speed. They will have had to have made some changes to the setup, and that inside gate that he's got now has worked very well this evening, so he must take advantage.
He's got to take advantage of that. His record in Rostov is not great in Grand Prix, but he's got to take advantage now of this inside gate.
Here we go then, heat number 7. Green lights on and we're underway. Doyle's made a decent start on the inside. Smarslik electing to go right to the outside. Holder coming through in the pack. Got to say, Smarslik, that was an odd decision from him. Oh my goodness, how tight is it as they go into turns 3 and 4 for the opening lap. Doyle's out in front, but he can throw a blanket over all 4 riders, and Smarslik is at the back at this stage. Holder around the inside now, with Doyle going well. Gleb Chuganov coming down the inside. Fantastic ride there from the wild card, pushing the former world champion awfully hard. Smarslik still at the back, with Jack Holder going strong, very strong out in front.
Yeah, Smarslik's got no answer at the moment, but you just can't help but think he's going to start generating some speed on this last couple of laps. He hasn't got long to do it now, and he's got no answer at the moment. Jason Doyle's been beat up in this one. Jack Holder up front looking good. Chuganov will be happy with the 2nd place after that exclusion.
Well, indeed, one last turn for Jack Holder. This is a really encouraging ride from Jack Holder, who had a nightmare qualifying, and he picks up his first win of the evening. Superb ride from the young Australian rider, and clearly delighted with it, rightly so. Jason Doyle fading there, just not fast enough out there this evening. And Bartosz Smarslik, after such a wonderful opening ride, drops 2 points there. Not a disaster, but had to work hard for the 1 point. And Gleb Chuganov responding nicely in 3rd place. So Jack Holder out in front, 3 points for him. Chuganov in 2nd place, 2 points for him. Smarslik 3rd, 1 point. And Jason Doyle remains pointless after 2 outings here this evening.
Great to see young Jack Holder winning races after a very disappointing qualifying session today where nothing seemed to go his way. But what a first turn from the young man. Doesn't make a good start and then just picks his way through the traffic on that first turn. Gets well and truly squeezed up by Jason Doyle there. Has to get off the throttle, back out of that one. Wise move. But just picks his moment again. He's just making a nice cut back through the middle of the pack. Looks there like Smarslik actually could get up the inside of all 3 of them, but that doesn't happen. Smarslik made to work very hard for that solitary point, just passing Jason Doyle on the last lap. Great ride from Jack Holder.
Yeah, it was. It was an eye-catching performance from him, and Schmarzlik, as I say, after that wonderful ride with Janowski in heat number 4, suddenly his second ride here was much tougher indeed. Just shows you how tough it is if he doesn't get away, and the speed of this track. It's difficult to make up time, but for Jack Holder, the frustrations of qualifying
still can't quite manage to smile.
All forgotten now, that's for sure, after a superb ride there in heat number 7. Heat number 8 then, and this will complete the second block of rides, and everybody will have had 2 outings, and we will begin to see the picture emerging. We've got Janowski and Leon Madsen on 5 points. They are out in front at this early stage of the night. So heat number 8 on the inside in red is Martin Vasilek. Alongside him in blue is Robert Lambert. Patrick Dudek will come out of gate number 3 in white, and Freddie Lindgren will go from the outside in yellow. And Robert Lambert will be looking for a victory here after being a touch frustrated, I sense, after being beaten by Dan Bewley first time.
Yeah, I think he will, but he's said in his interview he was happy with the bike, happy with his speed, and he was making some good lines, he's racing well.
Indeed he is then. Heat number 8, Martin Vasilek on the inside. Can he produce something from there now? Tapes are up. I've got to say, Lambert's made a fantastic start out of gate number 2. Brilliant stuff from him. Freddie Lindgren there on the outside, coming off of turn 2, but Lambert now stretching his legs down the back straight. Lindgren now dive-bombing up the inside, pushing Lambert very hard indeed as they come to the conclusion of the first lap. Vasilek back in 3rd place. Dudek diving to the inside with Vasilek round the outside. But you've got to say, Robert Lambert's in front, hasn't got much of a lead, and you know you're going to have to work overtime when you've got Freddie Lindgren right up your exhaust pipe.
Yeah, Freddie Lindgren's tough character. When he's at his best, he doesn't ask for a lot of room, and he will take anything he can get, but he can throw a blanket over these first 3, in fact almost 4. Robert Lambert doing a great job, lovely first turn after a decent start, and Freddie Lindgren, he's just generating a lot of grip on the inside of Lambert, still not out of this.
No, he's not. Robert Lambert then actually rode a very crafty line round that first and second corner on the 4th lap. Looks like that sealed the deal for him, and he'll pick up a win here, first win of the evening, and move on to 5 points. Fine ride from Robert Lambert under immense pressure there, showed a lot of composure and made that subtle move towards the inside as they started the last lap through the first turn that really did the business for him. Freddie Lindgren back in 2nd place, but the start from gate number 2 for Robert Lambert there was a textbook one, and certainly looks like he's really fired up this evening. The result of heat number 8 then, Lambert out in front, 3 points, Freddie Lindgren in 2nd place 2, Patrick Dudek back in 3rd place 1, and Martin Vasilek on his return to racing is finding it tough this evening. There you can see the standings after 2 rides each, with 5 points for Madsen and Janowski, Robert Lambert as well, Schmarzlik on 4, Woofenden on 4, Mickelson on 4, and Jack Holder on 4 as well. We're enjoying this, I hope you are too at home. It's red hot out on track. So far, Chris, this has been a superb Grand Prix. The racing conditions are ideal, and we're really seeing some superb stuff.
Yeah, superb stuff. And Robert Lambert, 3 points in this one. He's shown form all night. It was great in Heat 2 with Dan Bewley, that fantastic race, just missing out. But a really wise first turn there. Makes a good start, and then he just runs across to make sure he stops that run from gate 4 of Freddie Lindgren, who didn't give up all race. He was working that inside. He was really making the bike work very well, getting plenty of traction, and made Robert Lambert think about it, work hard on the bike. And Robert not riding as wide as Jack Holder was in the previous race, maybe riding a little bit in no man's land in the middle of the track, taking a wider line than perhaps he needed to in that one.
But I just sensed that move late in the race where he just moved slightly narrower and just killed the speed, and that was a smart move because Lindgren was looking really threatening in 2nd place.
Yeah, he had to get defensive because he was riding around the middle of the track, possibly not the fastest place to be, and once he cut that run off with Lindgren, then he looked like he was generating at least as much speed.
Good ride from Lambert, he'll be pleased with that. Dropped a point to Bewley first time out, but picks up a fine victory there, and after a disappointing Grand Prix 2 weeks ago in the Principality, he started very strongly here this evening. He said in his interview with Scotty Nichols that his bike felt fast, and so it proved. There you can see the score chart. He's got the inside gate next time. but his start from gate 2 was just electric. He dropped the clutch absolutely bang on, and the bike powered its way to the first corner. Enjoying this. I hope you are at home as well. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, clever first turn as well. You know, it was a good start, but he just took up enough track room to stop Freddie lingering around the outside of him.
So the inside gate is working big time tonight. You can see 4 race wins from there. As I say, last year gate number 3 was red hot, but it hasn't been so much so far this evening. That can change, of course. We've had 8 races. It could be very different at the completion of the qualifying heats after 20, but an indication of where the advantage lies on the start line at this stage. So just a few running maintenance going on here. We're looking at Jack Holder's team there. Well, Robert Lambert's, excuse me, Robert Lambert's, very similar colours, but nonetheless a strong start for Robert Lambert tonight.
Yeah, common thing that we see nowadays, certainly didn't happen in our days, but just cooling the primary chain down, and then they'll give it a little bit of lubricant. If you put the lubricant on while the chain is still hot, of course it just flies straight back out again, runs out of the important surfaces. So yeah, we see a lot of that now.
We do indeed. We're seeing it on Martin Vasilik's bike as well. Tough return for Martin, hasn't scored a point yet, and clearly not quite up to speed, but by golly, they are flying around here. And so all of a sudden, you know, when you've been out of the sport for a month and you're coming back from a nasty injury, just needs to get off the start if he can and just get his nose in front.
These guys must have been watching the under-16s in the SGP3 last night, because that racing was red hot, and so is this.
Yeah, it's a fine venue here, the Olympic Stadium. It's got a lot of history. As I say, it had a great makeover in 2017, and it really is a state-of-the-art stadium now, and a brilliant facility for Speedway. Patrick Dudek also doing some running repairs there. Not too much longer now. So yeah, 2 blocks of races have been completed as we look down on the view from up on high as the track grading continues, and we'll be up to heat number 8, and a big race for Jason Doyle there, because he hasn't scored a point, and really with 3 qualifying heats to come before the semi-finals, Jason Doyle is going to have to get a minimum of 8 points, he would suggest. 2 wins and a second, the very least he's going to need.
Yeah, a good night for Robert Lambert. You know, really could change his season in terms of the top 6. He's just 8 points behind 6th place, and that's Maciej Janowski.
Yeah, you're right.
Unfortunately for Robert, Magic's also having a good night.
Yeah, 52 World Championship points coming into tonight. He's in 11th place, but as you rightly say, he's in a position where, you know, a big haul of points tonight, a final, a minimum of 14 points will be very useful indeed, or better than that if he can. And on the evidence of his first 2 rides, it's looking good for him. But we can get some more reaction with Scott Nichols now. He's going to be joined by Leon Madsen.
Yeah, Leon Madsen joins me. Leon, got off to a win. You couldn't quite get the win in your second race, but you're generating an awful lot of speed out there.
Yeah, I was battling a little bit in both my races, and nice to be back on a good racing track. You know, it's this is what we want, and to put on also a good show for all the fans watching the Speedway, and I think tonight is going to be a good night.
Yeah, you've been very solid this season. You're looking fast. Do you feel like that you're at your best? That kind of got you that second place in the world a few years ago?
Okay, second, please.
You feel like you're riding at your best right now? You've been very solid so far this season. You made every semi-final. You're looking super quick tonight.
Yeah, I've been, as you said, I've been very solid this year. I needed a little bit extra to beat Bartek, and we're working very hard on it. And 22 points is a big gap. So our focus now is we direct our focus a little bit about next year. So we try to improve the equipment and everything we can. So when we start the next season, we are better than we was this year, and I'm confident we're gonna achieve that.
Yeah, I see you working very hard with your crew. So it's just those small, fine details. How important is it that your crew are all kind of working together on the same pace? See Brian Carg's in there with you. You've got the laptop out. You mean business?
Yeah, it's very important, you know, and I have a good team around me. We all want to go in the same direction, you know. Everyone in this team is hungry for that for that gold medal, and we're working everyone very hard to achieve it. And I believe we have something in the toolbox for next year.
I'm sure you have. Keep smiling. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, terrific to hear from Leon, and Brian Carger, of course, is involved here this evening with Leon with the new ignition system that he's using. So obviously a few tweaks going on there, but there's no question his bike has been rapido so far this evening.
Yeah, good to hear that Leon's focused on taking on the championship next year and looking, you know, some focus technically on next year, but surely he's got to have one eye on this year because he's still in second place. He may have 22 points to make up, but he's in fine form.
With 80 points still available, so all is not yet lost for Leon Madsen, but Bartosz Marslik may have something to say about that, and I'm sure he will. Heat number 9 then, and riders are up at tapes, just having their gardening session and getting themselves prepared for their next outing. This will be the 3rd time these riders appear on track. And all of a sudden, Mikkel Mikkelsen here, who's going along quite nicely with 4 points so far. Very impressive win first time. Big race for Jason Doyle, who hasn't scored a point so far. Needs to get to winning ways. I'm sure they may have rolled the dice here on setup, may have changed his bike, not quite sure. But here's the lineup then for heat number 9. Andrei Lebedev's on the inside in red. Fredrik Lindgren coming out of gate number 2 in blue. Mikkel Mikkelsen comes out of gate number 3 in white. And Jason Doyle on a warning will go from the outside in yellow this time.
Yeah, I think you got to say the middle 2 gates, Lindgren, Mikkelsen. It's going to be a battle there. They're both reasonably quick. Mikkelsen held on to second place for most of the race, and then Leon Madsen, a very determined Leon Madsen, managed to get by him, and Freddie Lindgren the same. He's right in the mix tonight.
He is indeed, and sense that Freddie Lindgren is just working his way into this Grand Prix. A much better showing last time behind Jack Holder. Had the speed, he just needs to find the key to getting his nose in front as he goes into the first corner. Track is freshly prepared, of course, now after the track grading between heats 8 and 9. So Lebedev's on that inside. Track looking pristine here for heat number 9. So Start Marshall is happy. He walks away. Green light is on. Tapes are up and we're underway. Lebedev's made a good start on the inside. Freddie Lindgren alongside him. Doyle's chopped back to the inside. So is Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen's got there. Mikkelsen through into second place. Lebedev's out in front. Here comes Freddie Lindgren. Whoa, dive bombing through the pack there into turns 3 and 4. Just about hanging on there as they start the second lap. They've got to say Mikkelsen's responded very nicely to get himself back to second place. But Lebedev's, bit of a surprise here, has only got 1 point to his name, but the inside gate has proved to be advantageous, and he's taken full advantage of it.
Absolutely, had to take advantage of having that inside gate. Looks reasonably comfortable around the inside. The track took...
Oh, Lindgren's gone down!
There's a rut there. I knew someone was going to get it.
Oh, he's going to try and get the bike off the track, but the red lights have come on immediately.
Yeah,
spectacular looking fall from Freddie Lindgren when he grabbed that rut and just threw him off the back of the bike. I do believe that Lebedev's caught it as well, but he hung on to it. But
it's exiting the corner. It's just far enough around the corner to generally not create too much of a problem. You've normally got your wheels in line and the bike pointing in the right direction, but really did catch Freddie Lindgren out there.
Caught him unawares, and he looks like he's okay.
Around the inside there's a soft spot. We noticed it when we were walking the track earlier. A very, very spongy spot where there's a low bit in the track, and the water's from earlier in the week. Some storms just sat down there, and he's still hanging on to the handlebars. That would have really pulled on his shoulders. He's going to be uncomfortable after that one, but we can see here round the inside looking for some extra traction on the inside, and actually Jason Doyle lucky there not to collect him. And,
very lucky.
Uncomfortable moment for him.
Just shows you how violently these bikes react to a change of surface. A beautiful racing surface, one soft spot, and all of a sudden the rider is completely and utterly out of control. So good to see Freddie walk away. He's excluded, unfortunately, but I think the most important aspect is that he is okay. So there'll be a rerun with 3 riders here. Jason Doyle once again off the pace there, not looking like he's quite got the setup right. So a second chance for him here, and his team are going to have to do some soul searching if they're going to find the key to it, because if you're not quick round here, you're going to find points very difficult to come by. It's a blow for Freddie, because Freddie was just beginning to find his feet here tonight with 3 points from 2 rides, and all of a sudden he's right up against it to make the semi-finals now.
Yeah, he's put himself under a lot of pressure that he didn't need, and I'm sure he's going to be feeling it after that, because he carried on holding on to the bike. He didn't want to let the bike go, and sometimes that's actually thinking about riders around you and not wanting the bike to rebound off the fence.
Okay, let's get some reaction now. Hot off the press, Scotty's with Freddie Lindgren.
Yeah, Freddie joins me. Freddie, I'll be real quick. First and foremost, you okay? And just talk us through what happened.
No, you know, they wanted the track and it's very slippery, and then they stacked one hole on the end of turn 2, and I hit it the wrong way.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I feel okay. Just pissed off.
I'm sure you are. Sorry about language, but you're a tough man. I'll let you get back on it, and good luck for us tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, frustrated. You can understand it. Just got caught out, touch greasy, and then the back wheel's just spinning violently, and then it grabs a load of grip, and you just get... Well, you get a passenger then, and we see it often in Speedway these days, where the bikes are so volatile when they react to different surfaces. So good to see him up and about, but he's got work to do. He's got 2 more chances. He's on 3. He's going to probably need to win his last 2 rides.
Yeah, Freddie just frustrated. He mentioned the water on the track, which just exaggerates the difference between the hard, wet, even surface that the bike was revving hard on and the back wheel was spinning. And then, of course, it hits that rut, and all of a sudden the difference is massive.
It is, indeed. Lebedevs will be a little frustrated, because another rider frustrated because he was away and was looking good here. He's got to repeat it now from the inside gate. Lebedevs in red. No rider in gate number 2, with Freddie Lindgren being excluded. Gate number 3 is Mikkel Mikkelsen in white, and Jason Doyle will go from the outside in yellow. So Doyle will get a point here at the very least, but he'll be looking for 3. Really does need to rattle off a couple of wins back to back to give himself an outside squeak of making the semi-finals tonight. Proud man Doyle, rides so well in the leagues, but the Grand Prix has been tough for him. He's a quality performer, there's no doubt about that, but needs to find the key to those levels of performance in the leagues and transfer it across the Grand Prix Speedway.
Yeah, frustrating to see Jason struggling at Grand Prix level, because he's such a determined racer in all of his league races. Fantastic form in the leagues.
So here we go, the rerun of heat number 9, and we're underway. Lebedevs has got there once again. Mikkel Mikkelsen is right alongside him, and Mikkelsen's made a terrific fist of that. Doyle now down the inside of the Latvian rider, and Doyle comes through into second place, but that was a great first corner from Mikkel Mikkelsen. Really was a super smooth ride from him. Doyle hanging on for second place, but Lebedevs now trying to replay the combo. Oh, contact! Doyle's on down very heavily on the exit to turn number 2, and the red lights appear again. Lebedevs may be in trouble here.
Yeah, Lebedevs definitely changed his line and rode across into Jason Doyle, who looks a little bit uncomfortable down there on the track.
Yeah, heavy fall, high speed. Lebedevs just coming back through on the inside, and Jason Doyle almost certainly was contact between the 2 riders there. You don't fall off in that position if you don't want to.
I think he was a little bit concerned he was actually going to get straightened up at that point, and it was a wise move to get off quite early.
Yeah, Mikkelsen out in front after a dynamite first corner. Really super ride round the middle of the track and got the speed, but he's going to have to settle down. Lebedevs, I would suggest, could be in danger of being excluded here. The referee will see the replays. We'll wait and see before then to make sure that Jason Doyle is A-OK.
Yeah, unfortunately for Jason, he's already sore. He's been riding. He had a dislocated shoulder in Cardiff that went back in, but left him very uncomfortable. And also he's carrying a broken rib, so any crash is going to be extremely painful for him.
Let's see it again now, Chris.
Yeah, Jason Doyle in yellow there. Lebedevs does just pick up a little bit of grip that perhaps he didn't expect, but he's just put his rear wheel straight up against the front wheel of Jason Doyle. That straightens Jason up, and you can see he's heading towards the end of the air fence, not somewhere that you want to crash.
Oh, he's got to go for that.
And yeah, he's got to go, and Jason Doyle really had to get off at that point, I think. Self-preservation, but he didn't want to get off because he's already sore.
Yeah, Lebedevs has been excluded. That's decision has now been made by the referee, and really in truth he only had one decision to make when you see that. He's just collected the front of Jason Doyle. Doyle lets the bike go, which was the right thing to do, but the heavy fall, and clearly will feel it uncomfortable. But while we have this pause, we will get some more reaction for you while we're waiting for just the two riders to go head-to-head here in heat number 9. Jason now making his way back. That's good to see. So we will get some reaction from Scott Nichols. He's going to speak to Andrei Lebedevs.
Yeah, NJ joins me. NJ, very frustrating as you were leading the first time, and then a hard decision there. How do you feel that decision? Do you feel it was the right call?
Same crash I can make first lap. Same like Jason attacked me, you know, when he came into this corner. Yeah, but it's hard. It's racing, and what I say, I prepared for my next heat.
I know it's frustrating. Yes, you prepare for your next race, but you're in for the rest of the series. So I know tonight's not going to plan, but you still have lots more to look forward to for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah, sure. I enjoy being here. This is World Championship. It's always a dream. Every rider wanna racing here, and yeah, here I am, and I go to the end all series. And yeah, I wanna show I'm world class speedway rider. Yeah, but because maybe I'm a little bit nervous for my first rounds, and after every heat, I'm be more sure about myself.
Well, I'll let you focus and get back to the rest of your team, and good luck for the rest of the night. Thank you for chatting.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, that was a really composed interview there, and got to say that he has got a great chance to prove himself as a world-class speedway rider now, with after tonight another 3 rounds to go. Jason Doyle, of course, is now going to be working overtime. Marcel Gerhard, the Swiss engine tuner, there in alongside him as well. Good to see Marcel back on the scene. Haven't seen him for some time, but Jason working in conjunction with him this evening. But there's no doubt that they're having to work very hard because they haven't had the speed in the first 2 outings.
No, 2 attempts to run heat 9, and got to say each time in this race Jason has looked a little bit better. They seem to be going in the right direction. Maybe they've just got to be a little bit braver, because he's getting himself in trouble, not having that little bit of extra speed that he needs to pull himself clear.
Well, you're so vulnerable around here when you haven't got it. If you get away and you haven't got speed, you're just going to get gobbled up, and it's a terrible feeling, because you know they're coming. You just know it's going to happen. So
don't know which side they're coming from.
Exactly, yeah, you've got to have eyes in the back of your head. Phil Morris there, just keeping an eye on what's going on in Jason's pit area. He'll inform the referee very shortly. Yeah, the 2 minutes is on now, so the countdown begins with Mikael Mikkelsen having to do it again, having hit the front in the second staging of heat number 9. So he'll have to try and do that. But you may well be right. They may have gone the wrong way with Doyle set up initially, but maybe have done a U-turn. And it appears that they are beginning to find the key to some better speed.
Yeah, he's definitely competitive now. I mean, his first opening 2 rides really just didn't have the speed to stay in the race. He was just getting swallowed up, as you said, Kelvin, and it's a 2-man straight shootout from the outside gates here. Mikkel Mikkelsen, we know how quick he can be, though. If he hits the front, he generally doesn't get past.
No riders on the inside 2 gates here for the 3rd time of asking. Gate number 3 in white is Mikael Mikkelsen, and Jason Doyle will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. 2 points guaranteed as long as you complete the 4 laps, but there's no doubt that Doyle and Mikkelsen were very keen to pick up a win here. Good opportunity for these guys to really push on in this Grand Prix. Mikkelsen on 4 points, that's a good foundation to work from. Doyle with nothing. He really does need 3 points here. You suggest 8 points often is enough to squeeze into the semi-finals, but it's red hot action, very competitive tonight, so race wins are going to be very valuable when it comes to the end of the qualifying heat. So plenty to race for, even though there's just 2 of them. A genuine match race between Denmark and Australia. Here we go then. 3rd time of asking for heat number 9. We've had a few restarts already this evening. Green lights on. What a start for Mikkelsen. Absolutely fabulous out of gate number 3. He fires himself to the front. Doyle elects to go wide. Chops back. Big, long straight. Winding it up. Can he find some speed now? Mikkelsen looking pretty comfortable out in front. So good initially. Doyle's there though, he's on the pace, he's not being dropped now and he's winding it on. Certainly more encouraging signs for him, but Mikkelsen has got him pretty much under control.
Yeah, Mikkelsen always has speed in his bikes. He was electric from the start that time, just electing to ride fairly mid-track, just on the edge of the dirt. And yeah, he's moving into the dirt now, and Jason Doyle, yeah, the bike seems to be working, he's just not carrying enough speed at the moment.
Not quite enough speed. Mikkelsen pretty comfortable in front. This is going to be a handy 3 points. A lap to go for him out in front. Started with a win, then came out with a 3rd place when Leon Madsen got the better of him, but it's going to move on to 7 points now, and that's probably a point or two away from the semi-final. So heat number 9 is now finally completed with a good ride from Mikkel Mikkelsen from Denmark out in front. Jason Doyle picks up his 1st points of the evening with a 2nd place. And he's probably going to need a couple of wins to make any impact on the top 8 here this evening. But for Mikkel Mikkelsen, that was a good ride and a satisfying one after such a super start from gate number 3. So Mikkelsen out in front, 3 points for him. Jason Doyle back in 2nd place, 2 points. Lindgren and Lebedevs both excluded and both failed to score.
Yeah, frustration for Lebedev certainly. He was leading this race at the 1st attempt to run it. No mistake in the 3rd attempt to run it from Mikkel Mikkelsen. He makes an electric start, rides around the middle of the track, immediately gets the bike, finding plenty of traction. See him working the clutch overtime there, but he does a great job to get that bike to go to the corner as quickly as it did. And Jason Doyle simply had no answer for the fast starting Mikkelsen. And he'll be happy with those points. Takes him onto a comfortable 7 points with 2 races to go. Nice position to be in.
Yeah, nice and fine work from Mikkelsen. And Jason Doyle still with some work to be done, that's for sure. 2 points, so he's got something to work from. There you can see the point score for Mikkel Mikkelsen, with a gate 4 and a gate 1 to come to complete his qualifying heats. But almost certainly looking red-hot favourite for a semi-final berth. So good work from him. Heat number 10 then, we're at tapes with the next 4 riders. Let's hope we see 4 riders going head-to-head here. It was quite a prolonged heat number 9 with 3 restarts. And we've got Patrick Dudek out here and Dan Bewley as well. Good-looking race this. So on the inside is Patrick Dudek in red. Alongside him in blue is Dan Bewley. Gate number 2. Gate number 3 is Bartosz Marslik in white, and off the outside in yellow is Max Frick, the beaten-up Max Frick this time.
Yeah, Dan Bewley needs points here. We heard him talking earlier. His focus has definitely moved on to a medal in this championship. Currently 4th in the standings, but he had a last time out in an extremely tough race. How would he like to lower the colours of Smarslik in this one?
I'm sure he would. He's coming out of gate number 2. We've seen race wins from there. We saw Robert Lambert earlier on make a super start from gate number 2. Dudek on the inside will be a danger. Smarslik, of course, goes without saying, and Frick on the outside who are green lights. Oh, Bewley's made a movement there. Will the red lights come on? No. Yes, it does. Yeah, he was a little impatient. And once again, we're going to have another restart. I'll tell you what, they haven't learnt from the youngsters yesterday, where we hardly had any
they were very well behaved.
They were very well behaved on the start line, but Bewley was nervous there, clearly feeling a bit of pressure. A warning will be handed out to Dan Bewley as a consequence of the movement here.
Yep, rider in blue, Dan Bewley. He's just there. Yeah, there's a little bit of movement from Dudek on the inside of him, which does just divert your attention and put you off. And you got to feel for Dan there, because I think he was reacting a little bit to that. But rules are rules, and the race has to be stopped. And he will get a warning. So there'll be a small delay now while we wait for riders just to refuel and come back up to tapes. It'll be all 4 riders back, and as I said earlier, it will be a warning for Dan Bewley, and 3 points to his name after failing to score in his 2nd ride, so needs to get back to winning ways if at all possible. But Smarslik and Dudek and Max Frick will have other ideas, of course. Every race tough in Grand Prix racing. Such a delight to be here in the Olympic Stadium tonight. The new era of Speedway with Discovery Sports events, really bringing a new look and a new dynamic to the sport. We're loving it. SGP3 yesterday was a huge success with the World Final, going to Denmark and Mikael Andersen. A great effort from him.
sensational afternoon's worth of racing. Here we go then. Line up once again with Patrick Dudek. Will go from the inside in the red helmet colour. Alongside him in blue is Dan Bewley. Bartosz Marslik out of gate number 3 in white, and off the outside is Max Frick. And we're going again. Heat number 10, second time of asking. They've all sat still and behaved. Good start from Dudek on the inside. He's got there first. Bewley's alongside him. Smarslik was all over the place, actually, away from the tape, snaking to the first corner with Frick now coming up the inside of both of them. Frick's coming to second place. Bewley's going to have to square the corner off, but Smarslik's in his way. Dudek's out in front. Smarslik's gone from last to second. That was a terrific corner from the championship leader. Bewley now coming up the inside of Max Frick. Really tight for second, third and fourth. Dudek has had a dream run on the opening couple of laps here, but Smarslik just about hanging on, but Bewley now settling into third place.
Yeah, Bewley really needs to keep chasing Smarslik. A smart move from Smarslik on that opening lap. Dudek is pretty much checked out, looking good up front. Oh, little mistake there from Max Frick as he looks for a little sneaky line around the inside, but Dan Bewley will move on to 4 points. The pressure's on.
Indeed it is, down the back straight. Dudek has ridden an absolutely textbook ride here. 10 out of 10 for him. Dynamite stuff, and he's fast out in front. Smarslik coming through in second place, but for Patrick Dudek, that's a fine ride. And Dudek, his form of late has been superb, consistently making finals. Had 3 points prior to coming into this race, and he doubles his score, moving on to 6 qualifying points for the semi-finals. Very, very good timing there from Patrick Dudek. And once he hit the front, he had a lot of speed riding really high and wide. And Smarslik, as you say, that was a clever move from Smarslik to get himself out of jail there.
Yeah, exactly that. He got himself out of jail in this one. And Dudek, the rider in red there, works really, really hard to get the bike into the first turn. Smarslik's now winding it up. Dan Bewley up by the fence. Max Frick with a big dive bomb up the inside. And on this first lap, you can see Smarslik's actually at the back of this race. And big cutback, timed it perfectly, stopped Dan Bewley straight away. You can see that right leg off the foot peg all the way into the corner. I'm not sure if that's brave or stupid, but he made it work perfectly. And Dudek, well, he looks settled out front once again. Solid points from him, 6 points from his first 3 rides.
Yeah, fine work from Patrick Dudek there, and after a stunning opening ride from Bartosz Smarslik, he's found points are much harder to come by. He made a dreadful start out of gate number 3. He snaked all the way to the first corner, but satisfaction for that man. Now we see the result. Patrick Dudek 3 points, Bartosz Smarslik back in second place 2, Dan Bewley in third 1, and Max Frick failing to score in heat number 10. We're up at tapes for heat number 11 then. And Robert Lambert's back out here, who's having a super night at Speedway on 5 points after 2 outings. He will be on the inside gate this time. Leon Madsen also here. Jack Holder going great guns as well. So on the inside in red is Robert Lambert. Leon Madsen coming out of gate number 2 in blue. Jack Holder coming out of gate number 3 in white. And Paweł Szapelski from Poland will go from the outside in heat number 11.
Yeah, Jack Holder, winner last time out in a fabulous race, including Bartosz Smarslik. So he'll take plenty from that.
Leon Madsen's a danger here as well, yeah, Chris, because he's got plenty of speed. 5 points out of 6 so far. So is Robert Lambert. Jack Holder looking very useful indeed. Good looking heat here in heat number 11, that's for sure. Green light's on and we're underway. Lambert's made another great start from the inside. Madsen's there alongside him going wide. Szapelski coming roaring around the outside rather. Got to say Jack Holder also into the thick of the action. Up the inside down the back straight for the... Oh! Big crash! Yeah. Big crash for Jack Holder. Bike straightened up, piles into the air fence.
Yeah, awkward looking crash, lands on his back and his shoulder. He'd made use of that rut that caught Freddie Lindgren out earlier on in the meeting on the first turn. Brave move as he died up the inside as well of Robert Lambert again down in turns 3 and 4. Awkward looking crash. We're going to hope he's okay.
Yeah, we are indeed. Fingers crossed here. That was a high speed crash. Riders so determined going into that pit corner, and you've got to just hope that Jack Holder, possibly winded, Let's hope he's not injured. Jack Holder is now
sitting up, but
he's excluded, unfortunately, after such a good ride last time. He sat up, so it does appear that he's okay. Possibly, when you land on your back like that, it can wind you, and that may well be the case. So.
He did manage to get right over onto his back as opposed to onto his side, which is often a collarbone, and he's not clutching any of his arms or anything, which suggests that other than battered and bruised and winded, he's going to be okay. There you see it.
Oh!
Just picks up so much unexpected grip and can't help but run into the back of Robert Lambert.
Well, Lambert was lucky here as well, wasn't he?
Oh, very lucky. Yeah, absolutely. You can see there, he's turned the bike hard, picked up that grip, and he's actually done well because he's managed to take out the momentum after going forward sort of violently around the inside as he picked up the grip, and he doesn't clatter into Robert Lambert with too much forward momentum here. Gets the bike down low. It's very important that he did that in terms of Robert Lambert anyway, and but nonetheless, very, very uncomfortable fall for Jack Holder.
Not pretty viewing that at all, and it just shows you when you're going this hard. I mean, why is this happening, Chris? You know, they look perfectly under control, and then a split second later, bikes just literally...
The bikes are revving so hard and they stall so easily. That's the way they're tuned, and that's what you get, unfortunately. Once they stall, they react very violently, as we saw with Freddie Lindgren earlier on in the evening. And there's not a lot there for him to hit, it's just a little bit more grip than he thought. But he does well here because he gets the bike down low there, just takes the momentum out of it. If it had hit him more upright, then Robert would have also been in trouble. But tell you what,
heavy
go
fall
down on that side, on that collarbone, but seems like he's going to be okay.
Oh, now he's just praying that the bike doesn't hit him as well. Unfortunately, the bike just avoids the rider there. Rider's back at tapes then for the restaging of heat number 11, and a dramatic fall there for Jack Holder, and unfortunately that's put a dent in his progress, that's for sure. But the lineup for heat 11 on the inside is Robert Lambert, alongside him in blue Leon Madsen. Jack Holder is excluded, no rider in gate number 3, and Pavel Szapelski, who was showing well actually coming around the outside, to go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. So all of a sudden Robert Lambert and Leon Madsen on 5 points from 2 outings. Good opportunity to really build on it now.
Yeah, scrap definitely from the inside, and as you say, Szapelski showed a little bit of speed in that one, so it's an interesting race, this one.
It is indeed. Can't rule out Szapelski because these sort of conditions are right up his street. And of course, rides in Poland for Torun. Here we go then. Heat number 11. We've had plenty of restarts tonight. Oh, movement on the inside from Lambert. Will there be a red light? Yeah, no surprise. Possibly gained an advantage there. Leon Madsen was twitching as well. This is a little frustrating for everybody, you know, with all these restarts.
It is, but the referee has at least been consistent. He's let nothing go.
No, he hasn't. And, but it does tend to, the meeting's not flowing as well as you would like. With the, we've had a couple of nasty crashes, of course, and that's perfectly understandable. But Robert Lambert, they were a little fortunate not to touch the tapes.
Yeah, once again, we just see someone just that little bit of movement. The tapes weren't held particularly long. He was particularly impatient there, but Leon Madsen looking across as well, but he doesn't react to it. Leon Madsen actually moved first just a tiny bit. That's nothing to do with what Robert Lambert did, but yeah, they're all very nervous at the start tonight.
Yeah, very keen to get underway. Speed out there is absolutely vital, and starting, of course, is paramount. So a warning for Robert Lambert that will remain with him throughout the evening. He's back up at tapes straight away. He's having a good night, Robert Lambert, and he'll be very keen to build on it now. A race win here, and he's almost certainly through to the semi-finals. 2 race wins and a 2nd place. Very useful start to the evening, that's for sure. Leon Madsen just making his way forward now. Gate number 2 for him. Another rider that's going very well indeed. Looks like he's found some superb speed here. Here's the lineup then. On the inside is Robert Lambert in red. Alongside him is Leon Madsen in gate number 2. No rider in gate number 3. And off the outside in yellow is Pavel Szapelski. Let's hope they behave themselves now and we can get on with heat number 3. Third time. for heat number 11, and we're underway. Tapes up sharpish this time. Lambert's made a good start. Leon Madsen going awfully wide. Pavel Shapelski trying to come up the inside down the back straight, and does so. Good move from Pavel Shapelski. Lambert's out in front. Leon Madsen roaring around the outside. He's going to have something to say here. He's going to wind it on, but Robert Lambert looking good here. Good start from him. Certainly riding really well, and that bike set up, he said actually in his interview he had a fast bike in the first race. Here comes Leon Madsen up the inside of Pavel Shapelski. Dynamite move there. Shapelski now replaying the compliment. Leon Madsen having to work awfully hard here.
Yeah, great to see Robert Lambert riding so well. Oh, here comes Madsen again. Yeah, Robert Lambert's just riding well, and the bike setup's perfect. He's accelerating off the corners. He's not getting away from Madsen though, and once Madsen gets clear, we saw he had to go at Janoski with just half a lap to go. He has
Here we go then.
Plenty of speed.
Down the back straight, one last chance for Leon Madsen to fire himself to the front, but Robert Lambert, Robert Lambert looks like he's just about got it covered. It got a little bit tight there, with Leon Madsen just momentarily straightening up in turns 3 and 4, but Lambert moves on to 8 points. Fine job from the Great Britain rider. As I say, he had a very disappointing meeting in the Principality Stadium 2 weeks ago, but crikey, he's put that to one side and is looking really strong out there this evening. So the result of heat number 11 then, Lambert out in front, 3 points for him. Leon Madsen once again showing great speed in second place, 2 points for him, and Pavel Shapelski 1, and Jack Holder of course excluded after that really dramatic crash that we saw in the second staging of heat 11. Good work here from Robert Lambert.
Yeah, great work, and a great scrap from Madsen and Shapelski all race long, but Lambert riding well, determined first turn, didn't quite get the bike to the corner as well as he had done previously, but just generating the speed, riding well, keeping it smooth, and the bike accelerating off the corners. He actually stretched a gap while these two were tripping over each other. Fantastic stuff there from Shapelski, and Madsen replaying the compliment for a second time. And but once Madsen gets himself clear, he always seems to be able to generate enough speed to then catch the next guy up, and putting Robert Lambert under plenty of pressure into the last corner. Little mistake there, similar spot to where Jack Holder picked up his grip. But no, 8 points for Robert Lambert, no mistakes.
Yeah, Leon Madsen gets away, he's going to be dangerous, that's for sure, because he's got a lot of speed, and he will be a threat to anybody. So heat number 12 will complete the third block of races. There's the point score for Robert Lambert, and just recovering after that epic ride from him last time out. So heat number 12 then, we'll see hometown favourite Matvej Janoski going from the inside in the red helmet colour. Martin Vasilik finding it tough tonight, coming out of gate number 2 in blue. Ty Wolfenden much better last time out of gate number 3 in white, and Gleb Chuganov, who had a good ride last time after being excluded first time, he goes from the outside in the yellow.
Inside gate advantage Janoski, you have to think, but
3 teammates here,
reasonably even, but gate 1 definitely.
3 teammates here now going head to head in the Grand Prix here in the Olympic Stadium. Martin Vasilik from Gorzhov comes out of gate number 2, green lights on and we're underway. What a start from Martin Vasilik. Wow, fantastic stuff from him. Janoski follows him through, whipping him around the outside. Gleb Chuganov trying to force his way through into the action as well, but that was a terrific start for Martin Vasilik. So very often does this, shows great commitment. He now hits the front. Wolfenden coming around the outside of Matvej Janoski. Janoski under pressure from his teammate Chuganov, who he forces wide. Now, has Wolfenden got anything in the bag to try and chase down Martin Vasilik out in front? He's coming on strong. He's giving it everything he's got. He jumps back to the inside. Oh, Martin Vasilik just about hanging on out in front.
Yeah, Wolfenden really chopped the nose of Janoski off coming down the straight into that corner, but Janoski still working on the inside. But great to see Martin Vasilik on his comeback to the Grand Prix Series after missing Cardiff, pointless from his first 2 rides, but going great guns here.
This is a great way to respond for Martin Vasilik. Failed to score in his first 2 rides, but what a start out of gate number 2, and that is an excellent ride from him. Really got to tip your hat to Martin Vasilik. Must have been down in the dumps after his first 2 rides, but crikey, what a start. and rides supremely confidently out in front. Great action behind him between the two teammates, Woofenden and Matvej Janowski, and Gleb Chuganov just missing out, but here we see the result. 3 points for Martin Vashlik, first points of the night. Ty Woofenden back in second place, 2. Matvej Janowski in third, 1, and Chuganov, the wild card, missing out, but I'm pleased for Martin Vashlik. Here you see the standings after 3 rides each. 8 points for Lambert, leads the way. Mikkelsen in second alongside Madsen on 7. 6 points for Dudek and Smarslik and Ty Woofenden and Matvej Janowski. Awfully tight there. Really is building up very nicely indeed. And we've got 2 rounds of qualifying heats to come. So it's really building up very nicely, and the picture is beginning to emerge. But for that man, he's given himself a lifeline with that win.
Yeah, he has. He can get himself 8 or 9 points now with a couple of rides to come, with small rides like this. But cracking start from gate 2. Really did pull clear and look comfortable, but you could throw a blanket over these 3 for the first couple of laps. And Janowski having to work so hard. Ty Woofenden having to cut his nose off on a couple of occasions to stop him creeping around the inside. And Chuganov was never really out of it. Just kept having a go, but tailed off in the very end. But Ty Woofenden as well, trying to find something, some answer for Martin Vashlik out front. But once he hits the front, he's a hard man to pass. Oh, it's not going to go anymore. Sorry, Martin, that's it.
But I want more. I want more, Chris. Martin Vashlik clearly chuffed a bit with that one. Great stuff from him, and he'll be very pleased indeed. We will have some reaction now as we'll go down to Scott Nichols, who's going to be joined by Jack Holder.
Yeah, Jack Holder joins me. Jack, is a real nasty crash there. I'm pleased to see you standing beside me. First and foremost, how are you feeling?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I think the adrenaline's still going. Definitely hurt something in my ribs and like my shoulder blade, but you know, it's a Grand Prix. Unless it's busted, then yeah, I got to try and keep going.
Well, you're a tough cookie, but the track seems to be, there's a few bits catching the riders out. Is there anything, do you kind of notice anything on the track wall, or does that just totally take you by surprise?
That one took me by surprise. The one that lingering hit, there was a lot of dirt, and it was like sponge, man, on the, especially on the practice also. You know, you walk the track and it was like a jumping castle. It was so spongy, and yeah, I knew that one was there, but yeah, that one definitely caught me by surprise. And you know, I was lucky enough to not take out Lambert. You know, it was I started to take off, and you know, I was like, oh no, and yeah, thankfully he stayed on, but you know, I did a good pirouette.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Some people always kind of wonder why the riders walk the tracks at the beginning. You just highlighted that on that third and fourth bend, but let's reflect on a positive note. You had a cracking second ride, carved your way through the pack and got the 3 points.
Yeah, mate. You know, a lot better than qualifying today. You know, I wasn't even on the board. I think I was 18th or something. So, no, we changed bike, and you know, the first race was pretty good. You know, especially heat 1, you can't really pass. You've got to take the points, and made a change, and then yeah, won a tough heat with a few big dogs in it, and yeah, I made another change and was feeling pretty good for that one, and yeah, I took off on something that I'd caught me out, and yeah, hopefully just see how we go, eh?
Well, let's keep your heels up. Excuse the pun, but I hope you bounce back in your next one. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he's going along quite nicely, but it was quite a dramatic crash here, and he has explained to Scotty there that he was taken by surprise there, wasn't expecting that. And as I say, you just see that. I think you actually nailed it here, Chris. There was just a little bit more grip there, and it only has to be a little bit, and then suddenly the bike gets away from you. But he'll be back for more with heat number 15, his next outing. So yeah, he did remarkably well actually to not clout Robert Lambert any harder.
He did, yeah. Uncomfortable looking fall, and as he said, feels like he's got a little bit of damage in the rib and shoulder department. No surprise, but yeah, he'd come in tight. He'd ridden an extremely tight line. He had to turn the bike a little bit harder than ordinarily you would on these big wide corners, and that was a dangerous combination that just caught him out in the end.
Leon Madsen was having a good look at that as he went by as well. Probably couldn't quite believe what he was watching, but as I say, good to see that Jack is up and about, and he'll be raring to go for his next ride in heat number 15, where he'll come out of gate number 2. He then completes his qualifying races with an inside gate in heat 19. So he's on, what has he got? He's got 4 points. So yeah, he's still got a chance, as is this man. So Martin Vasselin. So let's get some more reaction now with Scott Nicholls. He's going to be joined by a former Grand Prix winner, Ryan Sullivan.
Yeah, former world number 2 flying Ryan Sullivan joins me. Ryan, it's been a while since you've been on the circuit, but what are you making of the modern day racing?
Oh, well, thanks very much. Yeah, look, it's certainly cutthroat now. It always was, but I find that now it's really, the bikes are much quicker, technology's moved ahead, and the boys are certainly not giving an inch out there.
No, they're not giving an inch. Is there any, I mean, the boys are all super fit, everyone was in your day, but is there any other changes, like is the intensity changed at all, or are you still getting the butterflies you did back when you were racing?
No butterflies here. Look, the boys I find incredibly laid back. I mean, everyone races against each other in Poland, in Europe, throughout, but yeah, they seem so laid back. It was probably more intense back in my day. Yeah, I don't know what you think, but I see them. Maybe they just hide their nerves better.
So what's going on in Ryan's world right now? You're obviously over here on a little bit of a flying visit. You'll be back to Aussie tomorrow, but how's life treating you?
Yeah, really good. We've had a great vacation. We've been to Cardiff. You know, it's been incredible. We've spent a great time. Now COVID's finished, we can finally travel, so caught up with a lot of friends and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Cool, thanks for chatting. Just enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, great to see Ryan here in Europe, and we've been away for a little while. So let's just take a moment now and we can reflect on what we've seen so far. Well, the action has been fabulous so far. We've seen all sorts of dramatic overtaking, accidents and warnings on the start line. It really has been a thrilling night so far after 12 races, and we are on with the action once again here now with Heat 13 rapidly approaching. And the wild card, Gleb Chuganov out here. Patrick Dudek, a fine ride last time when he picked up his first win of the evening and doubly score up to 6 points after scoring 3 from his first 2 outings. So Dudek going along very nicely indeed, and not a surprise at all if he makes the final tonight. He has made the last 3, so he's in fine form. Mikkelsen also doing a good job tonight. So here's the lineup then for heat number 13. On the inside is Gleb Chuganov, hasn't changed his bike so far. Patrick Dudek the same, 6 points for him, gate number 2 in blue. Pavel Shapelski has remained on his bike all night, and he has gate number 3 this time, and off the outside in yellow is Mikkel Mikkelsen. So everybody comfortable with their equipment at this stage in this race.
Yeah, it's always a nice way to be, not chopping and changing bikes, wondering if the setup you've got on one bike's going to work on the other one. So yeah, they all seem to be happy with what they've got.
Indeed they have. So Patrick Dudek here sitting on 6 points. Mikkel Mikkelsen going along nicely on 7 as well. And he's just coming forward now. He's hidden there momentarily. I wondered where he'd gone. I thought the ground had swallowed him up. But anyway, heat number 13. Here we go. Tapes up. Chuganov's made a good start from the inside gate, gets to the first corner in front. Mikkelsen trying to come around the outside. Dudek's up the inside of Chuganov, but Mikkelsen's got speed, lots of speed, but just lifted there, and that killed his run into turns 3 and 4, with Dudek being able to hang on to second place. But for how long? Because Mikkelsen, oh my goodness, straightening up at an inopportune moment there, could have collected Dudek. Dudek there nearly going to the back with Shapelski there Tight between the two Polish riders, but out in front, Gleb Chuganov from the inside gate, the wild card. He's got 2 points on the board. So far, has stolen a march after all the activities going on behind him.
And Mikkelsen in the thick of the action, and yeah, he did lift there at a very inopportune moment coming into the corner. Ooh. And he's had to ride defensively with Dudek looking for a tight line. He's having another go, but he's too far back now. And this race looks to be settling down, but Dudek riding it right around the inside, which was quite brave down there on turn 2. You know, there's a nasty rut down there that got Freddie Lindgren, but Chuganov once again looking good out front.
Chuganov wins in fine style, absolutely roaring away out in front. The wild card coming good, wins his first race of the night. 5 points now with a race to come. An outside chance of making the semi-finals for the second time here in Wrocław in the Olympic Stadium. Good start, showed great speed, but Chuganov out in front, 3 points for him. Mikkelsen back in second place, a bit untidy there for Mikkelsen, 2 points for him. Dudek back in third, and Paweł Szapelski missing out. I tell you what, when you lift going into the corner, that is awkward and uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is very uncomfortable, and he was very tight as well as he did it, but no mistake from Chuganov round the first turn off the start. Fantastic stuff from him. You can see there Dudek just using that rut on the inside. I don't know if he actually meant to use it as he left turn 1, but it was a brave move if he did. And here we can see Mikkelsen straightens the bike up as it just gets even more grip. And he didn't expect it after the finish line there. That's very late in the day to be doing that. His body language, he's got his body bolt upright. Uncomfortable position for him coming into that corner.
Dangerous, that is. That's dangerous. That could have been quite untidy indeed. But for Gleb Chuganov, clearly delighted with that. 5 points with 1 ride to go out of gate number 3. And the wild card still has hopes of making the semi-finals. Wins his last one, could just about do it. So we'll wait and see that when Chuganov comes out for his last ride in heat number 18 out of gate 3. So here we are, heat 14 off the inside is Max Frick in red, excuse me. Maciej Janowski coming out of gate number 2 in blue. Robert Lambert going along very nicely indeed, comes out of gate number 3 in white, and Jason Doyle will go from the outside in yellow. And that's a surprise for me that Doyle hasn't actually changed his bike.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they've been working furiously on the one that he is riding, but yeah, I'm exactly the same. You know, I would have thought, particularly after his first 2 rides, pointless couple of rides, that they would have been a bit more adventurous than leaving him on the same bike and working with it.
So here we go then, heat 14, Robert Lambert, who leads the Grand Prix. Well, he certainly did lead the Grand Prix, excuse me. Mikkelsen's just leapfrogged him, but Lambert has a race in hand here, so he could then actually repay the compliment and lead the Grand Prix at the completion of this one. Heat 14 is underway, but he's missed the start. Janowski's made a great start out of gate 2. Frick follows him through in that first corner. Lambert back in third place, tight with Doyle down the back straight. Lambert now powering on, trying to get the better of Frick. Gotta say, Janowski really sharp away from the tapes. Superb stuff from him. Lambert now coming through in the second place. Frick having to work hard to close the door because Doyle is lurking there in fourth place. Lambert really fast there, coming on strong, putting Janowski under pressure. Janowski's going to have to work hard here because Robert Lambert's bike is really going great guns. Good battle for first and second.
Yeah, Lambert's bike's working well, but I tell you what, he's riding well as well. He timed his cutback on Max Frick to absolute perfection on that second lap. And yes, the bike's quick, and yes, he's making ground up on Janowski, but I think Janowski now at this late stage has almost certainly got it covered.
Janowski out in front has ridden nicely here. Dropped a couple of points last time out. He's having a look around going down the back straight. He's pretty comfortable through the last corner. Fans on their feet, they love him here. Lambert's right there chasing him home hard. Frick back in third place, and Jason Doyle's night, well, it just isn't his night and fails to score. But for Maciej Janowski, his Grand Prix is right back on track now, and he moves on to 9 points and joins Mikkel Mikkelsen at the top. The result then, Janowski on 3 points, Robert Lambert back in second place 2, Max Frick in third 1, and Jason Doyle fails to score. Robert Lambert on 10 leads the Grand Prix with Janowski on 9 and Mikkelsen on 9, so it's all beginning to take shape now, but this is a great start out of gate number 2.
Yeah, great start from Maciej Janowski there. Max Frick on the inside, making the bike work right around the curb. A little bit of virgin dirt down there, but this move from Robert Lambert comes in between the two there, Jason Doyle and Max Frick. Then he times that cutback absolutely perfectly. Doesn't stop the momentum of the bike as he does it. It's all too easy to stop the bike just that little bit too much as you try to change direction. But I tell you what, really impressed with the way Robert Lambert is riding today.
Yeah, he's certainly on fine form, and right from the get-go here this evening he has been riding out of his skin, and you can see the point score there for Janowski with one ride to come in gate number 3, but 9 points. That's a semi-final berth secured, but he'll want to push on. He is certainly riding better tonight, just needs to keep it rolling on nicely. Heat 15 then, and we'll see Freddie Lindgren after that nasty crash. In actual fact, 2 of the riders on the inside starts here both suffered nasty crashes, so they'll be hoping to respond strongly now. So on the inside is Freddie Lindgren, who has changed his bike, and coming out of gate number 2 in blue is Jack Holder. Gate number 3 is Ty Woofenden in white, and off the outside is Dan Bewley, who's looking for more points here, going from the outside in yellow this time.
I would suggest all 4 of these riders looking for points in this one, none of them in a particularly comfortable position. But it's good to see both Freddie Lindgren and Jack Holder making it to the start line, as you say, after heavy falls for both of them.
Yeah, they've got to respond now, as you rightly say. Vital points on the line now at past the midway point in this Grand Prix, 4th ride. And they'll be looking to push on. Bewley on the outside will be looking for some pretty dynamite speed once again. So here we go then. Heat 15. Green lights on and we're underway. Freddie Lindgren's made a really good start on the inside, gets himself to that first turn. He's just about avoided that soft bit and he's out of there. Ty Woofenden took care of Dan Bewley in the first corner, that's for sure. Woofenden around the outside in turns 3 and 4, trying to put pressure on Freddie Lindgren out in front. Woofenden coming on very strong. Jack Holder hanging on to 3rd place with Bewley out the back. A frustrating ride for Dan Bewley, that's for sure. Lindgren out in front, but Ty Woofenden really pushing hard in 2nd place. Chopping back to the inside, Chris. This is going to go right to the checkered flag.
Yeah, well, Ty Woofenden knows this track here in Wrocław as good as anybody in this lineup. He's put in as many laps as anybody else, and oh, it's all coming under the pressure at the back. Dan Bewley manages to work his way into 3rd place. That could be a very important point for him. He would be able to get on to 8 with a successful last ride. Ty Woofenden continues to put pressure on Freddie Lindgren up front.
Freddie Lindgren down the back straight for the last time, just about got it covered. Woofenden's thrown the kitchen sink at him, but as they come out of the last corner on the last lap, Lindgren picks up a really good win there after a nasty looking spill last time. Got to give this man an awful lot of credit, haven't you? You know, he was on his backside, really tumbling around the track in a dramatic fall. But crikey, he's got some inner strength, and he comes up with a stunning ride there. Woofenden back in 2nd place, just couldn't quite find a way through. Result then of Heat 15, Lindgren picks up the 3 points out in front. Woofenden back in 2nd place too. Dan Bewley, a handy point for him, as you rightly say, Chris, 1 for him. And Holder, unfortunately, missing out. But for Freddie Lindgren, I tell you what, you can never count him out.
No, you can't count him out, and he makes a decent start, creeps around the inside here, and Dan Bewley just gets his nose cut off by Ty Woofenden on the opening corner. And Ty, however hard he worked, you can see there, great throttle control, keeps the bike going forward as it wants to go up in the air. And but for all his knowledge of this track, had no answer for Freddie Lindgren, kept the pressure on, and Dan Bewley works hard to get ahead of Jack Holder for a very important point that will give him a chance in his last race.
Yeah, Freddie riding supremely well there, and you've got to say that he made that start, and once he was away, as hard as Woofenden tried, just couldn't quite find the way through. So here we are then, heat number 16. We'll see all riders complete their 4th ride of the evening. And it's a good looking lineup here, I've got to say. Bartosz Marslik there, just possibly changing bikes. We'll see that confirmed on the graphic with the letters underneath the graphic of the riders. Don't think he has, I think he's staying with the original bike here. And so the lineup for Heat 16 then is Leon Madsen going from the inside in red, Andrei Lebedev's coming out of gate number 2 blue, Martin Vasilik, a fine ride from him last time, coming out of gate number 3 in white, and Bartosz Marslik, the championship leader, will go from gate number 4 in yellow.
I tell you what, Marslik can't afford to slip up here. He sits at the moment on 6 points, and he's got a tough last ride. He's got 2 on the bounce. Heat 17 comes out of gate 3 with Mikkelsen, Lambert, Woofenden all in the points.
Yeah, they are indeed. Leon Madsen, if he gets his nose in front, I think Leon Madsen will be a very tough man to beat. He has shown great pace. He's looking good, Madsen. He's got 7 points. So here we go then. Oh, long pause. Long pause. There's a problem. There's a problem. And so tapes didn't release.
They took the start marshal's head off.
Yeah, they did. Caught him by surprise. And so I'm not quite sure what was going on. We did see actually a few problems with the tapes and the box that controls the timing of when the tapes are released in Cardiff. So let's hope that isn't the case here. So Martin Vaclik has just disappeared and he's making his way back up to gate number 3 now. So heat number 16 then. Riders have just having to wait a little bit longer. Madsen's ready. Vaclik moves forward now. Big race for Martin Vaclik, of course. He's got 3 points, needs to win this one as well. So heat 16, here we go then. The tapes are up and we're underway. Madsen's made a good start on the inside. Then Lebedevs is there. Look at that from Smarslik round the outside. Here he comes. He's going to dive for him. Oh, Smarslik. Wow, out of the top draw stuff there from Smarslik. The top 2 in the world going head to head here in heat 16. Leo Madsen coming back at him up the inside. Repays the compliment. Smarslik, clever move from Smarslik. Gets alongside him once again going into turns 3 and 4. Fabulous Speedway out in front, and it's all going to keep going on now with Leo Madsen back to the front.
Fantastic stuff. I'm not sure there's ever been anybody as talented on a Speedway bike as this man in yellow.
Oh, here we go again.
Changed his direction just on a sixpence.
Brilliant stuff. Smarslik now hits the front. Leo Madsen trying to get back in the thick of the action. Vaclik coming through into 3rd place, but the demonstration and the skill out in front. Wow, what a ride that is from these front 2. Smarslik coming through the last corner. Heat 16 was stunning. And Smarslik comes through in flying colours there. Once again, proper Speedway there from the championship leader. Top 2 in the world going head to head. Plenty of respect between the 2 riders.
Well, I said Smarslik couldn't afford to slip up. He didn't.
No, he didn't. But it certainly was very entertaining indeed. Fabulous Speedway in heat number 16 then. Smarslik wins the race with 3 points to his name. Leon Madsen back in 2nd place, 2 points for him. Vaclik working hard for 3rd place to get the better of Andrei Lebedevs. Here's what it looks like after 4 races each. 10 points to Lambert, going along nicely. Smarslik moves on to 9. Janowski on 9. Mikkelsen on 9 as well. Leos Madsen on 9. So Ty Woofenden back on 8. But by golly, one more qualifying race for all 16 riders. Well, that was a fabulous race of Speedway, and once again Smarslik was involved.
Yeah, what can you say about this? It was 4 solid laps.
It was very good. It was very good.
Speedway. Madsen working hard there. We can see Lebedevs tries to get across to the dirt line before Smarslik and doesn't do so. And Smarslik, with that change of direction on the back straight in so much traffic, thinking so quickly, just changes direction here. He's looking for a run around the outside. Yeah, okay, Madsen's coming across. I'm going to turn left. I'm going to go up the inside. Hits the front. Runs across the corner. Madsen's wise to that, makes the cutback back up the inside, makes that stick coming into turn 1 to start the 2nd lap. And well, this just went on for pretty much the whole race, and Smarslik's change of direction as he came from the fence to repass Leon Madsen was absolutely amazing. He does it without losing any time. That was brilliant. That was a little bit Thomas Golubesk, I've got to say, that particular move. Coming into the corner to cut across the inside.
High praise
so
indeed.
Here, look, he's got a load of grip, he's got the front wheel in the air, changes direction, and well, fabulous.
You've got to be quite good to do that. And Bartosz Smarslik is quite good. He is quite good. And as you see it there, depicted brilliantly, beautifully described by my commentator there. Absolutely fabulous the way he came off the fence and chopped back to the inside. Bartosz Smarslik, riding at his very best here on 2 occasions, has made it hard work for himself in a couple of rides, but that really was a sight to behold there in heat 16 between the top 2 in the world at the moment.
And when he rides like that, is there anybody more talented on the speedway bike?
No, there isn't. Not right now. 9 points to his name with a ride to go. As I say, the second and third heats, he had to work very hard for his points there. But, well, in truth, he's had to work hard for all his points tonight. But he's put on a great show for us in a couple of outings this evening. We'll take a look at the gate stats once again after 16 heats tonight. This will be interesting to see if there's any change to the stats. Where we've got the inside gate once again is proving to be quite advantageous tonight. Only a couple of race wins for gates 3 and 4, and I think that may have misled one or two after qualifying.
Yeah, without doubt. Certainly the favoured gates with the draw were gates 3 and 4, but not working tonight, and that is a reverse from the normal situation here in Wrocław.
Yeah, party time here in the Olympic Stadium in Wrocław, no doubt about it. Fans absolutely thoroughly enjoying themselves out. Beautiful temperatures. Have a look on the FIM Speedway app for live results and the latest news. Get involved there, and if you so choose, as I say, great to see a full house here this evening. So well attended. Speedway, of course, is very high profile in Poland, and great to see everybody coming out and having a great time. And no wonder why, because we've witnessed some superb action here tonight in Wrocław, and we've got one block of races to come before the semi-finals, and to determine the top 8, not too much longer to wait. So while we wait for the track grading to be completed before heat 17, and Bartosz Marslik will be out once again. So while we're waiting, we'll get some reaction now with Scott Nichols. He's going to be joined by Maciej Janowski.
Yeah, home hero Maciej Janowski joins me now. Maciej, you've had a tough last few Grand Prix, but tonight you've got things back on track.
Yeah, it's okay so far. You know, it's an amazing night. Fans have really good fun. We on the track also, because track is giving